Hello everybody, I'm Kat, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 books I read in spring 2018. Now, it's funny because in winter I talked about the fact that I wasn't reading as many good books as I read last year, but in spring, somehow the books got worse, so it was very difficult coming up with this list. I struggled coming up with it because a lot of the books I read I actually wasn't a huge fan of, which makes me sad. But luckily I was able to come up with 5 books that I actually really liked reading over the past 3 months. Coming in at number 5 is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This book follows this boy named Tanner, and as he moves from San Francisco, California to Utah, it forces him to go back into the closet because in California he was an open bisexual teen. He decides to sign up for a class where in one semester they outline an entire novel. The aide that walks into their class is actually this really well-known student that has taken this class, and his book is actually about to be published, and Tanner ends up catching feelings for him. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I had a couple of issues with it though, and part of it was me because I read this book at a time where I just finished a really great book, and it kind of put me in a slump where I was like, I just finished a great book. I don't really want to read anything. I would have liked it more if I didn't read it at a time where I was kind of falling into a slump. I really wish I connected to the characters more. There was something about them that just didn't make them in any way relatable. I liked them, but I could have loved them, but there was something missing from them that just made me like them. Autumn, Tanner's best friend, was extremely 2D to me, and I wish that she was more fleshed out because I think she would be such a great character, but she was extremely flat in my opinion. The next book I read was The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace. This was actually a book I read for school because we did this poetry unit and we had to choose our own poetry books, so I chose this one because it's been getting some buzz on BookTube. This book is essentially a poetry anthology about Amanda Lovelace's life and about the dark times she's been through in her life and how she's come out stronger because of these dark times. Honestly, I don't have any thoughts on this book. I finished the book and I decided, you know what, I really liked it, so I gave it 4 stars. There wasn't anything about it that I particularly loved, and there wasn't really anything about it that I really didn't like. There wasn't anything particularly special about it that I needed to discuss. That's it. I really don't have any thoughts on it. Coming in 3rd place is The Sun and Her Flowers by Ruby Kaur. This is Ruby Kaur's 2nd poetry anthology, and it's one that I really enjoyed. A lot of people have been saying that her first one, Milk and Honey, isn't that good, but a lot of people have been loving this one. I decided to check it out from my local library, and I read it, and I really liked it. A lot of the poems kind of reminded me of a Taylor Swift song. I'm not sure why, but whenever I kept reading, there were some of them that I would just read and I'd be like, why does this just sound like a poem version of a Taylor Swift song? It really reminded me of that. Not in a plagiarizing way, more in a, oh my gosh, I really like the fact that it reminds me of this, you know? I really liked how empowering the poems were. I really liked the growth, I guess, over the novel. Flower pun. I really liked this poetry anthology, and I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Coming in at number 2 is Not If I Save You First by Ali Carter. This book follows this girl named Maddie, who's the daughter of a Secret Service agent, and this boy named Logan, who's the son of the President of the United States. They have been best friends for ever. After this incident happens, Maddie's dad decides that it's better for him and Maddie to move to the middle of Alaska in a cabin with absolutely no Wi-Fi and no cell service, no way to contact the outside world. So Maddie and her dad live here for about 6 years, and then one day Logan shows up to this cabin and Maddie desperately wants to kill him. This book is so good. I actually went to an event for this book and I was able to get it signed. I've read Ali Carter's Gallagher Girls series and I really love that series, and I really want to read her High Society series. I really loved this book. I loved Maddie and I loved Logan, and I loved the intenseness of this story. The only thing that kind of bugged me was sometimes reading from Maddie's point of view would get a little annoying. It wasn't enough to ruin the book, obviously, because I absolutely loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It would have been a 5-star, but Maddie sometimes was annoying, so. And finally, this last book should not be a surprise to any of you all if you've seen any of my recent videos. Take your guesses now. I know. I love this book so much, and so many people don't like it, and it makes me sad. But, you know, it is what it is. I loved Leah. I just loved her as a character. Like, she was already, like, one of my favorite characters in Simon Versus. So I already knew, like, going into this book will either make or break Leah for me. I was really hesitant going into this because I wasn't a huge fan of Upside, but I ended up loving it. I will say that there was one part that I wasn't a huge fan of. For those of you who have read this book, you know that part. I highly recommend this if you really loved Simon Versus. I think it's a great sequel. That is it for this video. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books or some of your favorites that you've read recently, because I would love to know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every Thursday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! By the way, I'm sorry I didn't upload last Thursday. I was very busy with finals and stuff, so a video wasn't really a priority that week. But now I'm on summer vacation, so y'all are gonna see more videos from me. Yeah.